so I don't forget, start recording. Everyone. And don't forget, feel free to comment in the chat or ask any questions as we're going through the presentations. We will be more than happy to answer them. I'm actually just, oops, streaming to Facebook. So if you know of anyone who, tech being what it is, maybe they weren't able to get onto the Zoom. Maybe they're having issues. I am streaming this onto my Facebook page, Coach Pamela Pedrick, RNCHC. Let's get the live stream going again. All right, so Prajakta is going to talk about Heal Your Gut, Transform Your Health. And her gift is Fix Your Gut, a free guide. So welcome, Prajakta. So happy and excited to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having me here, and I am super excited. So should I share the screen?
Yeah, your screen share is open for you.
Okay, so let's see. And please tell me if you can see this
Yes, I
clearly.
can. Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so here we go. I am going to talk about heal your gut and transform your health. So I'm going to talk all about our gut health. So I'm going to just briefly introduce myself. Who am I? I'm a registered dietitian. I'm a gut health expert, detox specialist. I'm based in Phoenix, Arizona, and I have a private practice where I help male and female who are struggling with various kinds of digestive issues. I help them feel normal in their body through the healing power of nutrition and healthy lifestyle modifications. I strongly believe in food as a medicine approach. I am a registered yoga teacher as well, and I love to practice yoga, and it is a part of my daily routine. And in my free time, I love to spend time with my family and try out some new recipes. You can see some of the pictures that I am sharing on the screen that I have tried and passed. So what are some key takeaways? What are we going to learn out of the session today? So you are going to learn about the role of the gut or digestive health to your overall health, how your gut health affects your quality of life, and adopting some evidence-based strategies to enhance and support your gut health so you can achieve and sustain the optimal physical, mental, and emotional well-being, because our gut health has a profound impact on our physical, mental, and emotional health. So what are we discussing? Oops, sorry. What is gut microbiome? This is probably a new terminology for some of you, and some of you are already aware of it, but I'll be talking about it and how it helps restore your health. Causes of some imbalanced gut or poor gut health, and what are some symptoms? What happens when you have a poor and weak gut? And then I'm going to talk about 5 most effective strategies to fix and balance your gut. So some facts about our GI tract, our human GI tract. It is the largest system. It is a 30 feet long tube that begins in our mouth and ends in anus. And each and every step in the digestion need to be evaluated correctly if someone is dealing with gut problems. The inner lining of the tube is called the gut, where the food is broken down. And this lining is extremely important because if the food is not breaking down correctly, the digestion and absorption of nutrients is not going to happen correctly. Then another fact about our gut health or about our GI tract is there is a gut and brain connection. Our gut and brain communicate with each other all the time. Some scientists have even called our gut as a second brain. And this communication happens through a nerve called vagus nerve, through certain types of neurotransmitters who send signals and exchange messages between our gut and brain. And I'm going to share one little example of how our gut and brain communicate with each other. So let's say if you have a lot of stress going on, someone has to do a big presentation or a big exam to pass, and you are preparing for it, what you have, many of you have experienced is what is called as butterflies in your stomach. And that butterflies in your stomach is nothing but the communication that happens between your gut and brain. Or sometimes if you don't eat something right, something that is not, being able to tolerate it by your gut, you may also notice that it is causing you some headaches next day or some migraine or some quick mood swings. And that's the communication that is happening from your gut to your brain. So there is a two-way signal that gets exchanged between your gut and brain. And our gut is considered as a first line of defense because 75% of the immune cells of our immune system, they reside in the lining of your gut. So if your gut is imbalanced, if it is not healthy, naturally it's going to affect your immune system overall. And people will complain about falling sick, pretty quickly, or getting infections pretty quickly. And that's because your immune health is not very strong. So what is exactly gut microbiome? Maybe some of you have heard this term, but I'm going to just briefly explain that gut microbiome refers to a community of microbes that reside in our gut. There are microbes in our small intestine and large intestine. There are actually microbes overall our body, but the gut microbiome refers to the community of microbes that live inside your gut. And there are trillions of microbes, and studies have shown that there are thousands of different species of these microbes. In this community, there are good microbes and bad microbes. And remember that good microbes are always working hard to keep us healthy. On the other hand, the bad microbes are always looking for the opportunity to create more problems to your health. Now, the overall weight of these microbes is about 2 to 5 pounds, which I'm sure is very surprising for some of you to know. And as I said, these contain helpful and harmful microbes. Now, this is very important to know that every individual has a very unique gut microbiome. So I always like to tell my clients that everyone's gut microbiome is like a snowflake. How each snowflake is unique, it is very similar that gut microbiome is very unique. Even the identical twins, they have a different gut microbiome. They do not have a same gut microbiome. So when it comes to fixing your gut and balancing your gut, it is important that one needs to have a very unique and individualized approach. There is no cookie cutter approach out there. There is no standard formula out there. So this is very important to know. Now, what are some functions of these gut bacteria that are inside your digestive tract? So they help in the digestion and absorption of food. They help balance hormones, especially estrogen and insulin. These microbes help to produce various kinds of vitamins. They help to boost our immunity. As we talked earlier, 75% of the immune cells are residing in the lining of your gut. And these gut bacteria, they help to manage the overall inflammation in your body and, of course, support the natural detoxification pathways that are built in our body. Now, what are some causes of gut dysbiosis? So the term gut dysbiosis refers to the imbalance of microbes. So imbalance is, again, when person has more of the bad microbes and less of the good microbes. That's called imbalance. Or imbalance is also referred to as when someone does not have a wide diversity of microbes into their system. That is also called as imbalance. So what are some causes? Obviously, nutrition plays a big role. So poor diet, use of a lot of processed foods, very minimal fiber in your diet, excessive use of alcohol, foods with a lot of preservatives, chemicals or colorings, flavorings added to it, even a lot of sweeteners, all those can definitely result in imbalance of your gut. Infant feeding formula, and this is very interesting. When babies are born, and if the baby is given a breast milk, studies have shown that it tends to have a better and healthier gut microbiome versus the formula fed babies, they have relatively weaker gut microbiome. Excessive use of antibiotics and antacids. Again, I'm not against antibiotics, but sometimes antibiotics are prescribed in excessive amounts or too frequently or for a very long time. And that can also disrupt the gut balance because it will not just cure your infection that you're dealing with, but it will also sweep out all the good bacteria from your system. Exposure to toxins, as you all know that we are surrounded by toxins, and we are constantly being exposed to various toxins. So exposure to toxins by, bad quality air or bad quality of water or excessive use of bad quality personal care products, all those can actually impact your gut microbiome. Uh, GI infections and major surgeries that can also disrupt the gut microbiome. Inadequate sleep. Sleep, in my opinion, is considered as a mother of medicine. And if you are not having the enough sleep or a good quality sleep, that can certainly affect your gut microbiome as well. Chronic stress, which is kind of ongoing, or if you have experienced some stress for longer periods of time, or unresolved trauma from past, even if that trauma has happened 5, 10, 15 years back, and if it is not resolved and if it is still stuck in your nervous system, that can be a big contributing factor to gut imbalance or dysbiosis. Physical inactivity, naturally, when you are more active, you have a better gut microbiome. And undiagnosed food sensitivities, that is also another reason for gut imbalance or gut dysbiosis. What are some symptoms? How do you know if you are dealing with some digestive problems and that you have imbalance within your gut microbiome? Some people have constipation or diarrhea, some have both. So I have seen people going from one spectrum to another. Headaches, migraine, and heartburn. Now, you may be wondering that, oh, these are not gut-related symptoms, and you're absolutely right. There are some gut-related symptoms and there are some non-gut-related symptoms which can also relate to gut dysbiosis, and this one is one of them. Bloating and gas. People feel full all the time. They may have abdominal distension. They may pass gas excessively. Skin conditions like skin rash that comes and goes on its own, or eczema or acne, joint pain or just joint stiffness. Brain fog. This is very common, and I see this all the time in my practice. People have difficulty remembering stuff. They are speaking in a group of people and they just cannot think of the commonly used words in their sentences. People have less focus, shorter attention span. All these are signs of brain fog, and the root cause for that is imbalance or disrupted gut microbiome. Sleep issues. People have difficulty falling asleep, or they are not having a good quality sleep. They are waking up in the middle of the night and cannot go to bed right away. So all these are, again, symptoms of gut dysbiosis. Weight gain, again, commonly seen in many people. People have difficulty losing weight. People have difficulty maintaining weight. People have difficulty improving muscle mass. So all these are, again, the root cause could be gut dysbiosis. Anxiety, depression, and mood swings, and this is very clearly known as your gut and brain connection is disrupted, and that is because of the imbalanced gut microbiome. So these are some of the common symptoms. Let's see. Okay. So what happens when someone is dealing with gut dysbiosis? So gut dysbiosis, or this imbalance, can lead to a condition called leaky gut or leaky gut syndrome. And what happens in this is in your small intestine, there are tight junctions. There are these gates that open and close. So they are actually acting as a protective barrier. Now, when someone is dealing with leaky gut or leaky gut syndrome, what happens is these junctions, they get wide open and they form a gap in between. So just imagine, if you all can see me, the tight junctions look more like my closed fist where you cannot see anything. But when someone is dealing with leaky gut, these tight junctions open up and now they start to look like more of my open fist where you see the gaps in between. And through these gaps, what happens is unwanted substances can easily get in. Toxic substances can easily get in. You can catch the infection, and that triggers the immune response, which of course leads to overall inflammation in your body. So this is very commonly seen when people are dealing with digestive issues, when they have a poor gut health, when they have imbalanced gut health. Now, what happens next? So if someone is dealing with leaky gut, what happens next? It obviously leads to plethora of health problems such as chronic inflammation, cardiovascular diseases, autoimmune conditions, nutrient deficiencies, very commonly seen because the leaky gut affects the digestion of the food. Digestion doesn't happen correctly. If digestion is not happening correctly, obviously the nutrients are not being absorbed correctly. So malabsorption of essential vitamins and minerals. GI disorders, people can develop things like IBS or SIBO, which stands for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or ulcerative colitis. And then there could be also a possibility that person may deal with metabolic disorders such as insulin resistance, obesity, or type 2 diabetes. So I want to focus a little bit more on food sensitivities just because this is what I commonly seen in my practice. There are a lot of people who are now kind of realizing that some of the foods that they grew up eating on or they have always eaten throughout their life, they suddenly develop food sensitivity towards that. And just so you all know that food sensitivities can develop at any age and any stage of your life. It is a classic sign that indicates that your gut health is not strong, it is not balanced, it is not healthy. And food sensitivity can be developed for any food. As I said earlier, even if you grew up eating chicken, eating potatoes, yes, you can develop a sensitivity for that. Food sensitivity, most important thing to know is it is not permanent, and it definitely causes a lot of inflammation in your body. So what is exactly the difference between an allergy and a food sensitivity? So food allergy is an immediate reaction. You eat strawberries, you develop hives. That's an allergy to the strawberries. Versus food sensitivity is a delayed reaction. So you will be eating strawberries, but you feel fine. And after 24 to 48 hours, even up to 72 hours, you may notice some rash, or you may notice your eczema flaring up, or you may notice some loose bowel movements, and that is a delayed reaction. So you have a sensitivity for strawberries and not allergy. Food allergies are easy to identify because you exactly know what caused you the swelling of your lips or hives or whatever the reaction was. Food sensitivity remain undiagnosed for few days to even few years because they are difficult to identify. Food allergies are considered to be life-threatening versus food sensitivity is not life-threatening. And generally, food allergies are not associated with weight gain, but food sensitivities are associated with weight challenges. So this is a basic difference. I have seen a lot of people, they do not have a celiac disease. They are not allergic to gluten. Their test results come back normal, but they could be still dealing with gluten sensitivity. So it is still important for that individual to take the gluten out of your diet if you want to heal your gut 100%. So what can you do if you are dealing with gut issues, or if you are not dealing with gut issues, but if you want to maintain your gut health to its best level? What can be done? So these are 5 most effective strategies. I'm going to touch on each one of them, but nutrition is big, we'll be talking about physical activity, sleep, stress management, and reducing the toxic load. So first of all, eat nutrient-dense foods. So what should you include? What will support your gut microbiome? Generally, whole foods in their most natural form. So try to minimize any packaging, processed foods, any packaged foods. Try to shop around the perimeter of the grocery store and not so much inside the aisles, because that's where you see a lot of processed food. Fiber is very important because the good bacteria in your system, in your gut, they love to eat fiber. By the way, they are vegetarians, so they love to eat plant-based foods, and fiber-rich food is a good food for them on which they will thrive and get strong. So fiber is very, very essential. Stay away from food additives, colors, preservatives, excessive use of artificial sweeteners. All those are bad for your gut microbiome. Make your plate colorful. So try to eat variety of vegetables. Try to include all different colors of the rainbow. I always like to say, eat like a rainbow. So try to add different colors of fruits and vegetables, variety of whole grain foods into your diet. Stay away from added sugar. So that's bad. That clearly has shown that it will actually promote the growth of bad bacteria and will create imbalance. Healthy fats in moderation. So fats in the form of avocado or various kinds of nuts. Salmon is a good fatty fish that you can include in your diet. Halibut is another one. Walnuts, we talked about that. Olives or use of olive oil, all those are healthy fats. So include those in moderation. Foods with excessive yeast need to be avoided. So a little bit of bread here and there is okay, but do not try to completely rely on bread all the time. Always try to include good probiotics and prebiotics. Prebiotics are the foods that your good bacteria will thrive and eat, versus probiotics are the foods where you already have a live bacteria in it, such as kefir or yogurt. So try to include those. Fermented vegetables is another good source of probiotics. And obviously stay away from artificial sweeteners, sugar, and excessive alcohol intake. Next is movement or physical activity. And I like to always refer to this as movement and not physical activity. And any type of movement is good. Definitely sedentary lifestyle is not shown to help your gut microbiome stay in a balanced state. So movement promotes healthy digestion, regular elimination. It boosts your immune system if possible. Do physical activity outside, not always in the gym, but when weather permits, you can go out, for a walk or a hike or a bike ride, whatever, or even just in your backyard. Physical activity or movement improves your mood and it helps reduce the anxiety. So recommendations are at least 30 minutes of movement 5 times a week. If you can do more, it's always beneficial, but minimum requirement is 30 minutes, 5 days a week. The next strategy we are going to talk about, sleep. Sleep is, as I said, it is considered as a mother of medicine. It is very, very important to have a adequate sleep at least for 7 to 9 hours. Inadequate sleep leads to poor gut health, and studies have shown that. So develop a good sleep schedule. Go to bed at certain time. Set up your waking up time. Make sure that you're not using any screens at least 60 minutes or 1 hour before your bedtime. Make your room comfortable. Maybe have some chamomile tea or something that will help you calm down and relax. Dim the lights in your room so that it becomes a very calming and soothing environment for you to kind of, set your circadian rhythm, or it will help you to kind of, get your brain calmed down and help you with adequate, good quality sleep. The next one is stress management. And chronic stress, what does chronic stress do is it kind of leads you to have inflammation. It creates imbalance in your immune system. It actually has shown to produce more bad bacteria into your gut, which leads to, of course, gut dysbiosis. It makes the lining of your small intestine weak and permeable, which we talked about, some time back, in leaky gut. So it can lead to leaky gut. So stress is not good. I know we all have some level of stress on and off. Sometimes it's too high, sometimes it's not too bad, but we all deal with stress, and we want to make sure that stress is not taking over our quality of life. Um, so stress management, what are some strategies you can do? And by the way, I always is a strong believer that stress management strategies should be a part of your daily routine. You should not be only focusing on the stress management only when you are under stress. This needs to be done on a regular basis, on an everyday basis, just like you brush your teeth and take shower every day and all that. So mindful meditation, definitely a good strategy for stress management. If you like to meditate, deep belly breathing exercises, that's another strategy for stress management. Regular physical activity or movement we talked about earlier, adequate sleep, and nature exposure. As I said, some time back, that getting out in the nature, connecting with nature, getting in the park, it is very, very important to get that direct sunlight, because that has definitely shown to reduce your cortisol level, which is a stress hormone that gets elevated when you are under stress. And then the last strategy I want to talk about is reduce your toxic load. Now, we are all surrounded by toxins. There is no way we can completely get rid of toxins around us, but we can definitely reduce our exposure to toxins around us. Studies have shown that excessive toxin exposure leads to poor gut health. So, what are some things that you can do to reduce your exposure to toxins? Eat organic food. There is a good website called ewg.org. It's a great website which will tell you what are some fruits and vegetables that you must buy organic, and what are some fruits and vegetables that are okay to buy organic or nice to eat organic. So I know organic foods is expensive. Sometimes it becomes out of your budget. So make sure that at least you follow the guidelines that are mentioned on ewg.org. The good quality water filters, use natural cleaning products which have minimal chemicals in it. Use the cosmetics or personal care products that are free from parabens or phthalate or even any other toxic substances. Avoid excessive use of plastic. So definitely do not store your food in plastic containers. Do not use plastic containers in microwaves. I would also say that if it is really possible, minimum use of microwave is definitely important, because excessive use of microwave can again increase the overall toxic burden in our body. So these are some of the things that you can start off with to kind of reduce your overall exposure to toxins. I want to end here. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer those. And I really like this quote: every day we live and every meal we eat influence the great microbial organ inside us, for better or for worse.
Awesome. Any questions for Prajakta? Very great overall, on how to, better our gut health. And I haven't met any woman who has not had at least some issue with her gut health.
Mhm.
It's by our lifestyle, the food that we eat, our toxic burden, everything that she had mentioned. So I put the link again to Prajakta's gift. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself or put it in the chat below as well. Gut health is, we hear a lot more about it nowadays because we're more aware about it, but she did a really great overview of what exactly is it? What does it look
Mhm.
like in the gut? Very good. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Awesome. I know I too had gut issues, which led to food sensitivities and eczema and everything that I was going through health-wise of my guts. So Judith says, I do not go into restorative sleep. So need some help getting into more of the deep sleep, huh? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to, follow some of the things that we discussed regarding developing good sleep schedule or, going to bed at certain time and definitely avoiding any type of screen because that has so-called for many people think that it is a way to relax before going to bed, but actually it is disrupting your circadian rhythm and it is not making you, or it is not going to help you fall asleep right away. So avoid that blue light altogether from any electronic devices at least 60 minutes before your bedtime.
Yeah, I read a little excerpt from a health coach who his clients were Fortune 500, like really, high tier level clients. And the first thing he had them do was get the TV out of their room and
Yeah,
laptops and screens, cell
correct.
phones. And they would be like, no, but you don't understand. I need that. And they would fight him on it. But he said within 1 week, they noticed a huge difference in the
Different.
sleep
I agree.
within 1 week.
Absolutely. Yep.
Awesome. Uh, so you've got some movement going on. Yeah.
Mm, yep.
Yeah, so that's where if you're not doing magnesium, magnesium might help as well, like what Megan had mentioned, in hers. Uh, she talked about supplements too, because it's a muscle, helps relax everything.
Correct. And if you're not willing to get the capsules or take something orally, I have also seen great results with magnesium lotion. And if you really rub it into your feet
Yeah.
before you go to bed, that is absolutely effective.
Yes, they even have like magnesium oil now
That's
that I
true.
use
Yeah, yeah.
on
Like
my
spray,
feet.
right? Yeah.
Spray on your bottom of your feet.
Correct. Yep.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Prajakta. Don't forget, grab her gift. It's in the chat as well. And replays will be available later tonight once I get all the videos collected. So if you've missed any of today's speakers so far, then you'll have access to the replay. Let me just.
You're very welcome. Have a nice day, everybody.
Thank you.